Alrighty, Caliber Collective Community. I am Nick, or you might just call me Hayes. It's whatever you want. I'll be your host for the Arma 3 Antistasi server. As many of you know, Grey Zone Warfare may or may not be a bit until early access. We're unsure. This will be the substitute for the tactical gaming addiction that many of us may have. This video will show you how to install the mods, how to use and install TeamSpeak, how to join the server, and some of the basics that you should all know once you get into the game. Chapters should be down in the description of the video, so you can jump cut to whatever you need. Before we start, you may be asking, well, what is Antistasi? What is this game mode? Well, I'll give you a very simplistic answer. Antistasi is a modded Arma 3 game mode in which the player is fighting a 3- or 4-way war against AI factions. You'll play the role as guerrilla fighting forces on the island that is controlled by a corrupt NATO, with outposts, military bases, factories, resources, air bases, and much more spread out all across the map. The civilians need you to fight NATO. However, you're not alone. There's another guerrilla force acting as criminals and terrorists. They're trying to kill off the population by planting IEDs and VIEDs, occasionally resorting to suicide bombings as well. You are backed by a private military corporation, ION, in which you can hire their resources to help you on the battlefield. Meanwhile, CSAT has caught on to the civil war taking place on the island and is trying to take advantage of that. They've initiated a naval invasion, and it's your job to work with ION PMC to fight off all the other factions and retake the island. So, brief explanation. Anyway, what mods will you need? If you navigate to the announcements channel in the Arma 3 category, you'll see an HTML file. Download that and then launch your game. Then go to mods, click the preset drop down, go to the import button, and then find the HTML file that you've downloaded. Select it, and then wait for the mods to automatically download. They should be loaded into the preset as well. If you have any issues relating to the mods, please @ me in the text chat where I can help you out. Alright, so you've downloaded the mods, correct? It's time for you to move on. Task Force Arrowhead Radio, or TFAR. This is our radio mod that allows us to use VoIP in Arma. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go down to the description in the video or in the announcements channel. There'll be a link to download TeamSpeak 3.6.1. You need that version. No other versions work. If you haven't already created a TeamSpeak account, go through the setup process of creating an account and then go through the setup process of installing your TeamSpeak. Once you're done with that, return to the mods on the launcher. Now locate the mod in the list. Click the drop down arrow on the right side and then click on the 3 dots. Click Open and Explore and then click I understand. Then click on the mod and then make your way through the TeamSpeak folder, and then there should be a plugin folder or file. Double click it and then click Install the plugin. Once you've done that, open TeamSpeak and go to Tools at the top, then go to Options, then Add-ons, and that on the left side of your screen. On the screen, you should see at the bottom, Task Force Arrowhead Radio. It should already be enabled in blue, but if it isn't, click that and make sure that it is enabled. If you have previously used another radio mod, like Acre, you will need to disable this. Very important. You will need to disable that because it could have issues with both of them enabled. It could crash your game when trying to join, and it could just break your TeamSpeak client entirely. So, once you've done that, or while you're doing that, go ahead and change your input and output to whatever you need. If you need to change it, default, it will keep it to your default microphone settings. But if you have multiple microphones, like Realtek and stuff like I have, or boom arm mics, you may need to change your microphone options. So, how do you join the TeamSpeak server? So, go back to the home page here. You go to Connections, Connect, and then type in or copy and paste the IP address for the TeamSpeak server. J-Man posted an updated server information where you can find it there. And then you can click Connect.
Connected.
Here you'll be directed to a welcome page. But before you join the actual Arma server, you'll want to join the Arma voice chat.
Channel switched.
And then some basic information if you've never used TeamSpeak. Up here is your microphone.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
And then here is your, sounds.
Sound muted. Sound resumed.
And then you can see yourself talking with the blue icon on the left side next to your name. Once you've joined this TeamSpeak server, you can add it as a bookmark by going to Add to Bookmarks, and then the name, your nickname, the IP address, and then you can click Apply, and then click OK. And then rather than having to type in the connections again, you can just go to your bookmarks, just click on
Disconnected.
Caliber Collective. So, how do you join the actual Arma server? So first thing you need to do is play the game or launch the game with mods, and then get through all the loading screens. Once you've reached the main menu, go to multiplayer, server browser, and go to direct connect, and then type in the server address and the port, then click join, and here you'll see the server name and the mission, and then you can see the players and all that. You can find the server here. Before I touch up on some basics that you should know, if you're having any issues, repair all the mods in your launcher. To do this, go back to your mods, then drop down arrows on each one of the mods, and then click the three dots, and then click repair. You'll have to do that on every single mod because TeamSpeak interacts with pretty much every single mod. CBA is actually the most important one that you'll need to update. And once you're done with that, attempt it again. If you're still having any issues, go ahead and at me in the text channel. I can hop in a VC and I can work it out with you. I think that's it. So I'm gonna pop over to the server and set it up and show you some basics. Alrighty, boys. So this is no script. The last part was a script. This is no script, so I'm just going to be showing off some of the things that I feel like is important, that if people are new, they should probably understand. One quick important thing that I need to say before I start this is I forgot to mention my computer will probably easily crash because reason being is because enemies will spawn around you every 1,000 meters, which means that if you have multiple people spread out across the map, it will cause a lot of ridiculous server lag on my part. So I would greatly appreciate if you guys try and stay close together. I mean, one, it would work out in an actual operation because you would be more effective, but as well as it would allow me to not hopefully deal with as much lag if you guys were spread out all across the map. Anyway, this is the official server. It is actually running right now. It's running all right for me. This is my first look at it, actually. And, oh wow. This is actually my first look at it. So, first thing, let's talk about the map. So, hoping that you already know stuff about Arma. So, these, as it already tells you, are outposts. This little thing here is an outpost. These are towns, resources, air bases, there is radio towers there, there's factories, military bases. I don't actually... 1, 2... There's only 2 military bases on this map? Oh, there's one over there. And one over here. Okay, so there's like 5 military bases on the map. That's actually not nearly as many as I was figuring. There's seaports, and I think I have everything. Pretty sure I have everything. Fuel stations, that's another thing. So, let's start off with an outpost. The simplest one. An outpost is pretty simple. It's an outpost. There's enemies stationed at it. Obviously, the goal is to capture the entire map. So blue is the occupants, green is friendly forces, us, and red, way over here, is the invaders. So CSAT in this case. Oh, I just noticed there's an airbase up here they'd start off with. So these outposts, if you capture them, there's a flag in the middle that you can raise the flag and capture it. Which... they don't really provide much to you besides you can station friendly troops on it. So I'll talk about that in a second. But there's a thing called human resources. I can spend some money and some human resources to put some AI friendly troops that are guarding the outpost and kind of keeping a lookout. And if they are ever attacked or if they ever spot any NATO troops, they'll set up a task in the tasks thing saying that they're in contact or they're under attack by NATO or whoever is attacking them. There is let's do factories. So I'm pretty sure factories just give you more money per turn or per tick. So basically as we play, we will be getting money. It'll be kind of taxes on the right side. So the people that are underneath us, who support us, we'll be taxing them for the war effort. And basically these factories just kind of give us more money per tick of taxes. And then I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on these because I don't actually remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure resources give you support points, and support points should allow me to call in. I could call us a paradrop, or I could call in a smoke screen for you guys. That's kind of my job, is to be providing that kind of thing. I mean, that's kind of the point of the commander. Not really supposed to be on the battlefield, but previously I've played it by playing on the battlefield. There is, hang on a second, there's military administrations. That's the one thing I was forgetting. They're effectively police stations. You can't actually capture these. You can only take them out. And basically what they have is they're effectively a police station with some military guys all around it. And they will have prisoners inside. And if we release those prisoners, we'll get some money as well as get some human resources from them, which is pretty important. Trying to think what else, some of the basic things. Oh yeah, so all of these towns, so all of these little towns here, we can't capture them. We have to gain their trust. So there's quite a few things that we can do by gaining their trust, by killing off all of the police that are inside of the town. So there's town police that roam around inside of these towns. So we kill off all the police. We can just play the game by taking out outposts and factories that are near the towns, that are like adjacent to the towns. We can also we can also do supply missions. So there's also a whole missions thing that we can do. We could do a supply crate, drive it over here, and it gives them food. And then basically the idea is you have to defend that crate from attacking forces. They'll notice that you're trying to give them food and raise their support level. And they'll come and attack you. There's obviously the air bases. These are arguably the hardest to attack, and this one is actually the hardest to attack because there is like terminals over here for all the aircraft to be stationed. And what happens a lot of the time from previous Anastasis that me and my friends have played, we start an assault on one side, like over here by this outpost, and we can never really do air stuff really early on because if we're flying over to do a paradrop, they would get shot down immediately by SAM sites or AA. So that's not gonna happen. So if we always have to attack by ground. So how we would do that is, for example, we'd go kind of through this entrance or like just kind of over here. But the issue with that is, like, for example, over here they might have helicopters. So, like, once the base gets alerted of our presence, these helicopters might take off, or a plane like an A-10 of some sort might get stationed to fly, or take off, and it's just like we gotta try and get those like aircraft disabled or stop infantry or pilots from running over to their aircraft because them getting an attack helicopter up really early on will seriously hinder our attack progress on an airbase. So these are really difficult to attack. They typically have 2 loot crates, so I forgot to mention that previously. These outposts have loot crates on them. Those loot crates, you can put them in the back of a pickup truck or a Hemet, or you can sling load them beneath helicopters. And what you can do with that is you can take it back to our headquarters that is over here. And then all of the resources and guns and ammo and everything that's inside of those loot crates will be put into our arsenal, which I'll cover in a minute. The air bases have 2 of those. The outposts have 1. Towns don't have any. Factories don't have any. Resources don't have any. Seaports, they don't actually provide very much. Like, they don't really provide too much. They don't even provide a loot crate in some instances, but they allow us to they provide us a spawn point for boats. So for example, here's a good example. Let's say we're over here and we take out this seaport. This will allow us to spawn in boats, and then potentially we could boat all the way over here and do a naval invasion kind of thing, running up on the beaches to invade this NATO airbase right here. That's like a kind of a good strategy or thing that you could do. Trying to think what else I'm missing. Military bases, they're very, honestly, I would say they're very similar to an air base, except they don't have jets. So like normally they might have 1 or 2 helicopters. The military bases typically have a lot of armor on them. So like tanks, APCs, IFVs, a lot of stuff like that will be stationed at these military bases. So those are things that you got to worry about. I think I covered everything on the map. So whenever we take a town or an outpost or whatever, it'll turn green, and knowing that, and then there'll be a number next to it to how many people are placed on it. So if I spend some human resources to station some troops on this outpost here, a number will show up beside it, like 8 out of 8 or whatever possible things. You can see on the right side I got some income tax, because I don't think I actually made any money at all. Oh, I've received 6. I'm not even gonna attempt that. So before I start going into these things around here, I'm gonna talk about the top of the screen. So starting from left to right, left is your current rank. The higher the rank you are, the more money you'll get. And money is actually pretty important. How do you rank up, you might ask? Well, by playing the game. The more enemies you kill, the more missions you complete, the more money that you donate to the faction, will pretty much anything that you do, the more of it you do, will increase your rank, which gets you more money. Moving to the right, you have human resources. We start off with 8, and basically, I've already said it multiple times, but basically what we can do is hire some AI troops to go set up a watchtower, a roadblock, HMG emplacements, AT emplacements. I can also tell them to garrison already existing outposts, like that. Moving right, we have faction money. You guys won't be able to see that. Only I will be able to see that as the commander. But that is the faction money there. We start off with 1,000. I can use faction money to spend it on human resources, so I can hire some people. I could use it to hire the Ion PMC like private military corporation that works with us. You'll see them out in the world like rarely. Primarily you'll see them if I hire them for a lot of money. And then I could also take money from the faction and give it to you guys. So when you die, I think you lose 30% of whatever money you have on you, which is a big deal. So you would want to be consistently donating your money to the faction, so that if you ever need any money, I can just take some money out of the faction and give it back to you or whoever else. It's kind of like kind of communism, but it seriously saves our lives in some instances. To the right of that is your money. So you start off with a $500. You can use that to buy vehicles, buy loot crates. These loot crates basically allow you to walk around and auto pick up all of the loot on the ground. So it automatically picks up the police officers' guns and all of that stuff. Moving to the right of that, there is NATO aggression. Starts off low. The higher it gets, the more enemies spawn, the more resources they use against us. To the right of that, we'll see CSAT aggression, and it's the same thing. Then to the right of that, we'll see war level. Now, actually, I should mention, in between war level and CSAT aggression, eventually there will be a rival force, which I've already started and chose as the modded one, because modded one, I'll cover that stuff later. That will not show up until we complete a certain task. Same thing with the trader. There is a trader, so you can spend your money to buy weapons or sell weapons. Let's say you have something that isn't infinite in the arsenal. You can sell that to get some money for the faction. To the right of that is war level. War level is basically our faction's level. So as the more things we capture, the more progression we go into the game, the higher the war level goes, which basically means the farther we are into the game, I guess. But also it gives us more things with the trader, primarily trader stuff, so you can buy more vehicles from the trader. You can buy stuff for less, like lower prices. Same thing with our garage here. We can actually buy some vehicles in our garage that is a lower price than normal. To the right of that is undercover mode. So you can actually go undercover if you're not wearing any military uniform or gear or anything at all. You could go into undercover mode, which basically allows you to sneak up on like police, or when you're driving down the road, you could be in an undercover vehicle but still wearing your military gear. So you're in an undercover vehicle or whatever you're doing, it allows you to scout. It allows you to be more flexible while also like not being detected. However, if you enter a military complex or anything where civilians aren't allowed, they'll automatically detect you and start shooting at you. So yeah. To the right of that is the rally point. Rally point is basically something that I can place down. The idea of it is, let's say we're in a big battle and we're in a big situation. I can go in, place a rally point down, allowing you guys 15 respawns on that position. So basically, when you respawn, you'll come back here, you could load your loadout, and then you can open a fast travel menu and fast travel directly to that respawn point, or a rally point, rather than having to buy a vehicle, drive over, or if you're out of money, run across, stuff like that. So that's just some of the things that you can do at the top, or things to look at. I'll do simplest first. Here is a map, so you can click on it and show map info. So on the right side, or top right, it should say total population of the maps is 7,699, which is clearly not right. There's Napa support, which we are Napa. That's the support for us. And then I think it said NATO support, which is the NATO support for NATO. CSAT doesn't have any support because they can't capture towns. Their goal is actually a task named CSAT punishment. So if you ever see that, that's them trying to destroy a town and kill the population, and that's our lose state. If they kill a third of the population, we will lose. With this, I don't know if it said anything else, but let's hope not. You can click on these towns. So if I zoom in and click on a town, it can show the population of the town name, the NATO support, the influence, and the hour support. You can click on like a factory, for example, and it can show like the NATO factory. It can show garrison. Let's click on an airbase. So it can show an airbase's status and garrison. So a garrison, I don't know really how, like, where it can scale from, but basically status idle basically means they're not in conflict or anything like that. They're just chilling out, like doing training missions every now and again or whatever. They're just doing their normal thing. But if it says like status in combat or something, that means that they're in combat with us or someone else, or there's a couple other things that can be involved. I think that's it with this map thing. Oh yeah, garrisoned weakened. Yeah, so yeah. What else? You can middle click on the map and open up game options. So with the game options, you can enable and disable music. I'm gonna save real quick. You won't see that save option. That's just me. And then you can see about. So this is just some of the things that you can. Just some of the things, some of the info that I have selected. There's a lot. This paradrop icon, basically what this means is, let's say I call in a paradrop support. The whole idea is it will teleport everyone from the base. You have to be at the base. From the base into the airplane so that you can be paradropped in. If you have this disabled or turned off, that means that you won't be teleported into the plane. So let's say theoretically half the team wants to go and paradrop in. You can stay on the ground and get a vehicle of some sort and drive it over yourself. AI load info. That's something that I will cover. There's a move asset. I don't know if you guys will be able to do that. Recruit units. So whenever you join the server, there is only a certain select few of roles. So like, let me mention that real quick. Medics will allow you to use a medikit, and the role of a medikit is basically infinite first aid kits, effectively. So you're allowed to heal people without losing an item. So normally, I hope you understand how it works. Engineers are able to repair vehicles with a toolkit. They're also able to, I think they're able to disable IEDs, and they're also able to breach open vehicles. So let's say there's a disabled tank, but there's still crew inside. You could get an engineer over and bring over an explosive charge of some sort, walk up to the back door or hatch on top of the tank, and breach open the tank and kill the occupants inside. Some good rolls. There's Rifleman, which I think allows you to run 5% faster. There's team leader, which is supposed to allow you to recruit units, but I think any role is able to allow you to recruit units. Recent update, I think the team leaders will also be able to call in support points, like smoke screens and stuff that I can, but not artillery or fire support points. Here is the officer. This is the guy that we need to protect. Why am I walking so slow? Alright, whatever. This is the guy we need to protect. If he dies, our faction will get disbanded, and we'll pretty much start with, well, we'll still have the stuff captured, but we'll start off with, like, 1,000 money again, and that's a big deal later on. So here you can request missions from him. So, like, you can request assassination missions, like, killing person. I hope you understand what these mean, but destroy missions, you destroy something. Rescue mission, you rescue POWs or something. Supply missions, I covered that earlier. Convoy ambush, you ambush a convoy. Logistics missions, brain, don't know what those do. I have to look at those. Oh, probably destroy something, or logistics missions, brain. I don't know what that one does. I'll have to look at that again. I forgot. And conquest missions, which is basically go here and take out an outpost. And then the garage. So if we open up the garage, this menu will show up. You can see cars, armor, helicopters, which you can only access at military bases. Ships, but you can only spawn them at seaports. And then statics, that's like HMG emplacements and mortars and stuff like that. You can see in the top right of this massive gray box, you can see 0 out of 24 space in the garage. When we rank up war level, this will increase their garage space. And then vehicles will spawn all the way down here. You can lock and unlock a vehicle that is owned by, or you have captured. I have a rule that you can only lock 5 vehicles. Let me actually do something. You can buy vehicles. So in the buy vehicle menu, you can buy civilian vehicles. This will expand later as war level increases. But if I just spend as little money as possible, get a quad bike, put this in vehicle. I'll show you how to access that menu later. So I have a quad bike. I clicked on it, and now I can lock it, so no one else can use it besides me. I can also view it. I can also customize it. There's no customizability options for this, but I can change the paint scheme with texture, and I can change it to Forest Rangers if I wanted to. And then there's mounts. So if you have a pickup truck or something, you can mount an HMG emplacement, but that would require you to have a static in here. Pylon settings, hopefully you know what those mean. That basically allows you to edit the pylons on planes and helicopters and stuff like that. And then down here, you can see some stats about the vehicle. So the number of seats, the amount of fuel and ammo it has, and damage or repair it has, and then cargo capacity and stuff like that, and you know, all the good things. Sources. So if we capture a fuel truck or a ammo truck or a repair truck, let me know, and I will lock it in the in this menu, allowing us to like store, or allowing us to restore and refuel our vehicles inside the garage. And then if you just click this and then click you click that. Brain, why? There we go. So you can pull it out and Q&E to rotate and space to place. So now I have an ATV. Restore nearby units. If you click that, everyone will be healed in the area. So is vehicles. So that vehicle would have, if there was a fuel tank in here, that vehicle would be refueled. Already showed you the buy menu. Alright, now Arsenal. This button, this one at the top, is really the only one that you need to worry about. The other ones you can kind of ignore. So here's my guy, and if you enter the Arsenal, you can sort by amount or sort by default or whatever. Here you can see like uniforms and see it has an infinite symbol here. So, I actually haven't seen this yet. We start off with slam fire shotguns, bolt action rifles, and a bolt action rifle that has a rail on the top. I'm going to use the shotgun, even though it's a single shot. And see how it says infinite. If I got something that wasn't, if I got one gun off the ground, like an MP5, it would say 0, 1, like one MP5 that we'd have in here. There's another rule: only use weapons and things in here that is infinite. So please do not use Brain, I need to stop reiterating things because I'm wasting time. You can... Brain. Okay, I've thought what I was going to say. Instead of... It takes 25 of one item to make it infinite. And if you are taking out items that are not infinite, then you're kind of just making it take longer to make that item infinite. And that's one of the rules that I have set up, is that everyone has to use weapons that are infinite. I think that's everything related to this. So now to the Y menu. The Y menu is pretty simple. It gives you battle options. So it allows you to fast travel, so you can click on a point to fast travel. You can only fast travel on the military bases, the air bases, the headquarters, and rally points. You have to zoom real far in and then hit fast travel. Let's go to the players and money tab. You can ignore this, and because we have server membership disabled, that's basically saying if you were a member, blah blah. I'll ignore that. This allows you to donate $250 of your money to the player that you're facing, or donate $250 to the faction. Here is turn on undercover mode. Now, I cannot go undercover because I have a weapon visible. However, if I didn't have a weapon visible, so if I got rid of this real quick, and then open up, turn on undercover, I'm now undercover. This basically allows you to put a vehicle in the garage that you're looking at. So if you're back at the base, or anything that's near a flag, like one of these, you can face a vehicle and then put it in garage, and put it into the garage that you saw earlier. Lock and unlock vehicle. So if I pull out a vehicle real quick, no. So basically, the point of this is that it should not allow anyone else besides you drive this vehicle, as well as it should stop the AI. It does break occasionally. This game is a bit glitchy, but it should stop the AI from just running up and stealing your vehicle. So then it's unlocked, so anyone can use it again. Here's AI management. I don't think you guys will have to do any of this stuff. I'm pretty sure this is mostly commander stuff. This is definitely me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is all my stuff. Flip vehicle. So if you have a vehicle that's flipped over and you have two other friends with you, you can just click flip vehicle, and the vehicle will be unflipped. And then move a static loot crate. So if you have a loot crate that's around you, and for whatever the menu's glitched or whatever, you can click this, and it allows you to move the loot crate around and pick up loot. I think I've covered most of the basic stuff really quickly. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll be playing this, and I'll be helping others out. Fuck, I actually want to check real quick. Okay, we start off with the... Is this long range? I don't actually know if this is long range. 2 kilometers. Yes, we have a long range radio. That works. That works pretty good. All right. Thank you for watching. I don't know what else to say. I hope this helped you. Brain isn't working right now because I've just done so much stuff and I'm tired. I've been editing the video while making the video, while I'm now swapping to this, and then talking really fast and doing all of this really quickly. I'm gonna be real, I think we got a pretty shitty spot to start off with, but... Alright. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later. Goodbye.